then go. Nigga, don't stress me, nah, nah, nah. I don't got time for drama, nah. I'm not your woman, no, no. If you don't want them,
Sibo and Mo at breakfast from 6 to 10 a.m. on the nation's favorite radio station, playing the best hip-hop, urban, Afro, and R&B on 99 FM.
In the news tonight, City of Windhoek secures 155 million Namibian dollar loan for new power substation to avoid load shedding.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening. I'm Nashon Marenga. In the news tonight, late birth registrations are concerned from Home Affairs Ministry. City of Windhoek Council awaits Lutombi's endorsement from Urban Ministry. Mines Minister says the West takes Africa's challenges for granted. And Roundup, Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. The Ministry of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security has raised concerns regarding the high number of late birth registrations, especially in the rural areas, as results of unreported home births. As a result, the ministry is urging parents of newborn babies to prioritize registering them as soon as possible.
According to the ministry's Chief Public Relations Officer, Margaret Kallo, to remedy the situation, the ministry carries out a continuous civil registration outreach program in various regions countrywide in order to bring services closer to members of the public who are unable to travel to the ministry's offices.
We are experiencing a lot of late birth registrations. Most of the time also, home birth also. It's also one of the challenges that the ministry is facing, because when you give birth at home, some parents, they do not go forth and register the children. We are urging the parents that, look, if you have a home birth, you know, all what is required from you as a parent, you get a letter from your headman that is stating that Miss Who delivered the child at home. This is the letter that you can bring to Home Affairs. A letter also of consent or from a witness, someone who witnessed the birth, that Miss Who was or delivered the child at home. Those are documents that we need. So late birth registration, to say, is when a person is older than is old. Let's say maybe a person is 20 years old. Registering people is not an easy thing. We have to be sure as a ministry that we are registering the correct people, people who are eligible to get these documents. So that's why the ministry is going to such an extent and do what is called the investigation. The investigation is just to gather all necessary information that can support that this person, yes, is a Namibian person, therefore must be accorded or registered for birth certificate.
Kallo emphasized that it is dangerous when a child grows up without a birth certificate, because without one, the ministry will not be able to issue an identity document, and one will not have access to vital services such as banking services or education.
We see that it's really an awkward and a dangerous situation when a child grows up without a birth certificate. Let me just highlight a little bit why it's a danger. We see that most of the time, young people who are reaching the university level, when they go to university, you apply to take up a place or to study at the university. The university is asking you for an ID. And normally, you cannot jump to have an ID. You have to start from a birth certificate. We can only issue an ID if you are registered, you have a birth certificate. So yet again, for example, as a child grows, you grow into an adult. And we all have feelings. Maybe the child will also end up having a child. You don't want to also, unfortunately, if you produce a child with an undocumented person, that person have no documents, no birth certificate, nothing. Your child will also be ending up of not having a birth certificate. Your child will not be documented. It is a chain. That's why the Ministry of Home Affairs, we urge parents to make sure that they are registering their children while they are young.
Carlos says first-time birth registrations are done for free and duplicates of birth certificates are charged at $100 Namibian.
Get the greatest savings on hoodies and golfers at Pep. Hoodies for baby boys just $49.99 and younger boys only $69.99. All the sizes, lowest prices. Men's golfers an incredible $89.99. Get into store, save even more. Life's better with Pep.
There are data deals. And then there are Telecom Namibia data deals. And if you want the biggest data deal of all, you gotta get 31-day Jiva, which comes with a massive 50 gigs of data. Is it even possible to use 50 gigs of data in a month? You tell us. You also get 1,000 voice minutes and 400 SMSs. To get your hands on 31-day Jiva, dial star 130 star 780 hash and enjoy a month of mega data. Whoa, that's a lot of data, minutes and SMS. How much is that? Must be expensive. No, it's only 185 Namibian dollars excluding that. T's and C's apply. Telecom Namibia.
Sharing your world.
The City of Windhoek Council said they are still waiting for feedback from Urban and Rural Development Minister Erastus Uthoni regarding the appointment of the city's new Chief Executive Officer, Conrad Lutombi. This follows the council's written submission to Uthoni for Lutombi's consideration and endorsement.
The Windhoek City Council earlier this month approved Roads Authority Chief Executive Officer Lutombi as the City of Windhoek's new CEO following the resignation of its former municipality head in 2020. Speaking today during a media conference on the update of the CEO recruitment, Windhoek's Mayor Sadeh Governors said they will not speculate on the official starting of the new CEO as they are still waiting for the feedback from the minister.
The City of Windhoek embarked upon efforts to recruit a suitable, qualified and experienced Chief Executive Officer during 2021, following the resignation of the previous incumbent. The process was administered in accordance to the recruitment and selection regulations for the Local Authorities Councils. Local Authorities Act of 1992, following robust debate and consideration by Council at its meeting of the 12th of October 2022, anonymously resolved to accept the recommendation of the interview panel and proceed the endorsing of the recommended candidate, Mr. Lutombi. As a next step in accordance with the Regulation 28, subsection 3 of the Recruitment and Selection Regulations for Local Authority Councils, Local Authorities Act, Section 27, subsection 1 of the Act stipulates that after the recommendations have been made, that I had to, as the chairperson of council, write a submission to the minister, as is my duty, and make a submission to the minister for the approval of the recommended candidate at this stage. So we are waiting for the minister to then approve, and then we will move forward with the organization's policies in terms of appointing the successful candidate.
Governors further indicated that they faced various challenges during the recruitment process.
The position of the CEO of the economic and political capital of the Republic of Namibia attracted interest from various stakeholders, obviously as expected. It is unfortunately, it also became a divisive, my apologies, topic politically, and as a result, challenges which weren't necessarily of a technical nature, but more politically impacted the process adversely. Critical issues that were raised with myself as the chairperson by councillors had to be taken into cognizance. I had to take all those matters into account, address them to ensure that council finds common resolve. These issues raised were dealt with the utmost attention that it deserved. We also took upon all necessary steps to deal with the matter without interfering within its process and to bring it to its fruitful conclusion. The divided council required great maturity and reminding of the broader social mandate in order to reach our consensus. As mandated, we proved that regardless of political or personal beliefs, challenges can be overcome and that consensus can be reached in the name of serving the greater good, which is ensuring that we deliver upon our mandate and serve the residents of Windhoek.
Governor stated the recruitment process was administered in accordance with the Recruitment and Selection Regulation for Local Authority Council, Local Authority Act of 1992, highlighting the legitimacy of their selection.
Mines and Energy Minister Tom Alwendo said that 70% of the critical minerals are found on the African continent, but the main problem is the lack of technology to process such minerals. Alwendo, who was speaking at the conference themed Just Transitions in Africa, Transforming Dialogue into Action, said technology can be sourced from first world countries, but African countries run the risk of getting into debt.
Speaking at the 10th Conference on Climate Change and Development in Africa, Alwendo stated that Africa is in need of hundreds of billions to mitigate the effects of climate change, which are mainly caused by developed countries. Alwendo added that Africa has the right to demand for these funds, as the continent only emits 5% of gases that are damaging to the ozone layer, and yet Africa suffers the most from climate change effects.
Our estimate was that even if Africa were to actually use all its gas and natural resources that has been discovered and to be discovered, our emission would still be below 5%. People told you, climate change actions, we're going to help you fund these things. There's $100 billion on the table that we can use. We've been asking, where is that money? Is it going to be a loan? Or is it a grant? Who's going to give it? If it's a loan, what are the terms? Aren't those terms simply just going to put me backwards? Because suddenly I am so burdened with these loans that I have to pay back. So it looks as if really our partners at times will take Africa's challenges for granted without really fully understanding what we are actually having and what our challenges are. They will then prescribe what we need to do. That is not fair. It's not just.
In addition, a South African national who is the project manager of the Pan-African Justice Alliance, Angelo Doyle, said the organization handed over the climate justice torch today to Africa's leaders, which symbolizes the youth calling upon these leaders to honor climate change pledges and to control the access the West has to African resources.
We don't need to focus on our governments, but we'll call our governments into account. But where we stand as an African voice so that the global north will repay us for loss and damage. So as we started today, you saw the climate justice torch was ushered into the room. You heard the blowing of the shofar, which is a very symbolic sound. And today marks a new moon. The climate justice torch also focuses on the following 6 points, and this is loss and damage. We are calling on loss and damage now. We are calling on development countries to cut emissions. We're also asking for those pledges that have been made that the climate pledges will be honored, and we are also calling for a just transition for Africa. We're also asking on special needs and circumstances, and we are asking for an accelerated fast tracking for frontline communities so that we are able to mitigate climate change.
Panelists reiterated that the problems Africa faces with climate change are internal, as Africa has the necessary resources for self-management but still looks to the West for solutions.
Enjoy these fantastic payday savings at Clicks until the 3rd of November. Buy Clicks 2-ply toilet paper, 18 rolls, 2 for $104.99 per pack and 1 for $114.99. And exclusive to Club Card members. Buy Pampers Pants or new Baby Dry disposable nappies jumbo pack. Now $241.99 per pack. Clicks. Feel good. Pay less.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian, from protecting our homes to fighting injustices. We still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
Welcome to this evening's edition of Business on One. The Namib Desert Diamond Company, Namdia, recorded a significant increase in profit of $144.7 million for the 2021-2022 financial year, compared to a low $13.3 million for the corresponding period last year. The exceptional performance by the government entity is attributed to the recovery of the diamond industry after 2 years of a slowdown in the global economy. Namdia, at its annual report, revealed that it was declaring $150 million in dividends to the government after recording a significant increase in revenue. The recently appointed Chief Executive Officer, Alisa Amupolo, who started her tenure at the beginning of this month, said the company will remain in a sound financial position as it refines its business strategies and improves operational efficiency.
Namibia Desert Diamond has once again proven its resilience in the face of adversity. Whilst many industries are still battling the effect of COVID-19 pandemic, which our MNC rightfully put, we as Namibia were able to steadily navigate our way through the storm and deliver our mandate. So as we embark onto the next 5 years and chart the future, we're really looking forward to partnering with the unique and distinctive collection of industry capability that Namibia boasts and leveraging on the global reservoir of knowledge through smart partnership. One such, I think we're all familiar with, was at Wombo Star, and we hope to continue on that trajectory. Therefore, in this new phase of transformation that we're embarking on, we will particularly pay key consideration on expanding horizon in fulfilling mandate of price discovery. We will continue to modify and differentiate demand for Namibian diamonds, and we will engage the global and domestic market to strengthen market share. We will also harness every opportunity, strengthen existing bonds, cement new alliances, and foster new partnership, which will enable us to compete in the global and domestic market, simply to increase our market share and create value for all our Namibians.
The Deputy Minister of Finance, Maureen Hindambwende, said Namdia's efforts have ensured that the nation benefits from the natural resources of the land. Hindambwende further stated that contributions from the entity bolsters Namibia's economic and social aspirations.
Diamonds are and has been the backbone of our economy, and it is imperative that we maximize our earnings in terms of price. We pride ourselves with best diamonds. Let us pride ourselves in catching the best prices. Namdia, since inception, has demonstrated effective administration of our diamonds, and through your price discovery mechanism, successfully demonstrated that our country's diamonds can fetch that premium. Through Namibia, Namibia's prominence and provenance is being reinforced on the global diamond market.
According to the report released, Namibia cash reserves amount to $395 million at year-end 2022. These are funds maintained for future expansion of activities and as a required collateral for banking facilities in the absence of a government guarantee. That is all we have for you on the business front. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages.
A bucky.
Breaking news. A bucky every week.
Say it with me. Bucky. Bucky.
A bucky.
This festive season, there's a bucky up for grabs at OK every week. No wonder it's on everyone's lips. Buy any participating product to enter and you could win a brand new bucky plus petrol money for a year. Also save on Brooks Oros for just $32.99, Sparletta soft drinks for a low $16.99, and Dairy Made Farmhouse ice cream at only $42.99. Come for the savings, leave it a bucky.
Back in the day, Susie's phone used to ring like a hotline. She was the most popular girl in town. But since she did not register her SIM card with her mobile service provider, her phone does not ring anymore. She has tried to get something similar. She has tried this and that number, but it has never been the same. So now, she has a reputation of being a number hoarder. Instead of just registering her SIM at her mobile service provider and keeping her number. Excuse me 1 second. Hello? No, this isn't Susie. Have you tried her other number?
Don't miss out on important communications like Susie. Register your SIM to keep your number. Visit www.cran.na.
Now for a look at Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. Namibia received a delegation of 18 higher officials from Ethiopia's Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries this week. The head of the delegation is the State Minister of Livestock and Fisheries of the Ministry of Agriculture in Ethiopia, Fikru Regasa, who said that Namibia's livestock production and export systems are one of the best in the world, and this benchmark visit serves Ethiopia an opportunity to learn something from Namibian meat production strategies. Espa said there is nothing happening in Namibia when it comes to agriculture. Michael stated that the local agriculture industry still relies on neighboring South Africa. Jack suggests unless they want to learn mismanaging green schemes and government-owned farms. Max said agriculture is dead in Namibia. That is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to engage on our stories on our social media pages for broadcast on News on One.
Prevent cramps with Fabufarm's new MVA Cramp Stop. Developed to bring fast and effective relief from cramps in athletes, active people and senior citizens. Manufactured in Namibia, Fabufarm's MVA Cramp Stop contains a carefully selected blend of vitamins and essential minerals to prevent cramps with a full month's supply of capsules. It's Fabufarm's new MVA Cramp Stop, your number one choice in cramp prevention. Now available at all leading pharmacies countrywide.
Get great prices on summer dining at Pep Home. Fancy tumblers are an incredible $9.99 each. We're always serving up the savings. Printed dinner plates are just $26.99 each. Add a pop of color with textured glasses, an amazing $9.99 each. Get more, enjoy more. Life's better with Pep.
And now, let's have a look at some sports news. A number of boxers from the prominent local MTC Nestor Sunshine Tobias Boxing Academy are ready to defend their titles this coming Saturday at Ramatex Garment Factory in Windhoek. The boxing bonanza of 9 bouts 12 rounders will entice boxing fans with a blazing event including undercuts from the MTC Nestor Sunshine Tobias boxing stable.
The much-anticipated boxing spectacle, titled Together as One Part 8, will see 4 of the stable's champions defending their regional titles. At the media conference held in Windhoek today, boxer Philippus Ngitumbwa will defend his WBO Global Super Bantamweight title against South African opponent Sabelo Ngebinyange, who has 20 fights with 15 wins and 5 losses. The well-prepared boxer, commonly known as Philippus Energy Ngitumbwa, will enter the ring with an impressive record of 16 fights, 15 victories and 1 loss. The main bout of the WBO Africa Super Middleweight champion Paulinus John Jolonimus, who is undefeated with 14 bouts, will face an equally fearless boxer from West Africa, Ghana, Delali Miledzi, who will enter the ring with 16 wins, a nervy 12 wins by way of knockouts, and 0 losses. Sport on One caught up with both boxers who expressed their readiness.
I prepared 2 months, so it's enough for me to prepare like that. Yeah, the prediction, I will not have the prediction, but the result will come out there in the ring.
I'm fighting away from home, you understand? But I prepare good. I prepare good. I get good preparation with my trainer. My trainer with me for long. Yeah. So we had that so many strategy coming to this fight. I have nothing to depend on. So I want the fans to come over. I'm going to take it. So the ring will decide. That's all.
Speaking at the same media conference, promoter of the boxing bonanza, Nestor Sunshine Tobias, was optimistic about the fights.
We're going to have a classic boxing. We want everybody to come in big number and support our champions. If you know, we got 4 champions defending their title, and WBO Global Champion Philippus Ngitumbwa, and WBO Super Bantamweight Africa Champion Mateo Saita. We got John Paulines, who's going to defend his WBO Super Middleweight title against Melazi from Ghana. Then we got Charles Sinima, who's going to defend his WBO Africa welterweight title. This is Ilowi from Nigeria. And of course, that's going to be like 5 nations in Windhoek country and Windhoek Ramatex. That is the biggest event we have been hosted in this country. And these guys, our kids, they are world rated, so they have to keep their record clean. They have to win to maintain their world rating and to keep their titles. It's a big challenge for the promotion also, to put all your guys on the same night, and we don't want anything to go wrong there. That's why we prepare very well. We are ready.
Tickets to the boxing bonanza are available at WebTicket at any Pick and Pay shop. General tickets will sell for $50 Namibia, while VIP will go for $500 Namibia, and VIP tables seating 10 individuals sell for $20,000 Namibia.
That's all we have for you. Don't forget to follow us on our social platforms for more on the sports front. Up next, we've got the weather update.